Good morning and welcome to the table for breakfast with Tiffini. Before we jump in, I just want to check in with you. Wherever you're listening from, I hope you're well today. And I wanted to let you know that you're always welcome here, anytime. Today's conversation started the way the real ones usually do. Two people crossing paths, living what look like completely different lives. Today I'm sitting with my friend Jalecia, and we're talking about lifting yourself gently, about starting again without apology and without rushing yourself. Even in different seasons, we recognize the light in each other, and we've kept that going over the years. So take a seat and let's get into it. Hey, I'm
Hello.
nervous, I'm not gonna lie.
You can be nervous. I'm nervous too.
So I'm so grateful to have you on as like my first guest. And yeah, so thank you and welcome.
Well, first of all, let me just thank you for inviting me. And I, want to say I'm honored to be here and I'm proud of you. It is not easy to share your feelings and your innermost, things that you have in your heart. That it takes a lot of courage. So I want to thank you for bringing this on for other people to hear it. I really do appreciate you for that. So that's number one.
Thank you. Well,
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate that. And I receive that because, child, listen,
Mhm.
it's, yeah, I know that God is doing something new in me because even just the mindset I had that I'm in now to even go through with this, like, it's been a journey. And again, as I mentioned, listening back to old recordings, I'm like, there was no way I was not in this space. Like, and so just to be able to go back and hear the growth and to be in this space now, it's taken a lot. So thank you. I appreciate that. I've watched you from afar, mother, take on new levels of womanhood. I've watched you move, transition, and on the outside looking in, you've carried so much, just so much grace and gentleness with yourself. Now, I don't know if that's how you felt internally, but just know that on the outside, I that's what it seems like, and I've admired watching you go through different transitions. And so I want to know, like, when did you first realize that a reset was needed?
Oh man, I think, God has a way of sitting you down and pulling you in and taking things from you that you wish, that you thought were going to be a part of your life, people that were going to be a part of your life. For me, I feel like I've lived multiple lives where things have been stripped from me. And I feel like recently that occurred after like a really long relationship. But more importantly, after that, really looking at myself after that relationship is really when it was like, it really hit me like, okay, you have to start over and that's okay. But we got to start from the bottom and we got to go
Mm,
in. And I think that's the hardest part is going in and looking at yourself. And it's not in a negative way, right? It's looking at yourself in a sense of, all these versions of yourself, all these versions that you've lived up until this point. I'm 35 years old. So for me, it was looking back on all of that and being like, you know what? I have to take responsibility for myself and what I have allowed in my life and what am I going to do going forward to fix that and what type of woman do I want to be and what does that look like? How do
mm.
I get there and do it? So that's kind of it started after a really, really bad, like a heartbreaking, heart-wrenching breakup.
Right.
But as we know, when you lose things, you are replenished with so much more that God, gives you. So that's where I'm at.
How did you like get to that point? Because I feel like for me, it took it took a lot and not just like heartbreak, but I feel like I'm hard-headed, first of all. I'll start with that.
Mhm. Me too.
So I feel like God showed me something or was telling me things. I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna still just do it my way.
Yeah.
And so but it was like stuff just kept happening. And so I feel like it took a lot. Like it took a whole lot for me to even get to the point where I'm like, okay, I feel safe now. I feel like I can open up. I feel like I'm ready to start talking about certain things because I do need to address, like you said, going within and starting from the very bottom and just peeling back all those layers and just, being honest and open with yourself first. So like how
Mhm.
did you get to that point where you were like, okay, it's time to start over. I need to go in and unveil some things. Like what were the steps that you took? Like, were there certain practices, certain people that you talked to?
This was the first time I really let myself fall. And when I say I let myself fall, I let myself feel all of the feelings. I really didn't try to get out of it. I think before I would try to, okay, I'm trying to move on. Let me just go to work. Let me take care of this. Let me move on with this person. This is the first time in my life I took everything off the table. And that means I have been celibate for the past year. I,
Come
yes.
on, celibate for a year. Come on.
Yeah. Once I got first of all, I had a lot of support, family support, friend group. I surrounded myself. I even joined a support group, um, therapy, journaling. I think I told you before, I also started the voice journaling because my therapist would be like, oh, just journal. And I would do that. And I didn't feel the relief that I was looking for. So then I started going on walks and I would talk on the phone and I just recorded them that entire year that I was gone. So I did the same thing, but I didn't know. I just needed to get it out. I just needed to get all of my frustration out. I needed to get all of my misunderstanding out, all of the moments I was replaying, not just from the relationship, but even past, like before that, just replaying stuff and voicing it out and then listening back to it like a couple of months after I would record it, and I would be like, wow, okay, I guess I'm getting better. Even though in the moment I didn't feel like I was getting better. Does that make sense?
Yes.
like I would be like, oh wow, I don't think like that no more, but I still felt heavy.
Mm.
Um, so I would say then my spiritual practices really increased. I really, really carved out time, whether it's before work or after work, to pray, to be a part of God's presence, which I really wasn't doing that the way I should have been. Um, and just really community is so important. I really think that's the biggest thing, and I think the enemy tries to trick us and think that we're alone and we're by ourselves and nobody else is going through what we're going through, and then we'd be like, well, I can't tell this person because I'm gonna be looked at like this, or I can't say this to this person because this person's gonna judge me. That is the work of the enemy. I want to say that is the work of the enemy. I think that community, even Jesus had community. Everybody needs somebody. So, to a long story short, yes, that's how I started. It was rough. It was rough at first.
Oh my God. I gotta let that marinate for a minute because community is so important. And I realized that like within this last year or so, coming back home, I would say, is when I realized, like, okay, girl, yeah, it's time to start opening up and sharing, sharing what you're going through. You don't have to wear it alone. You don't have to go through it alone. But of course, that comes from just learned behavior as a
Yeah.
kid and just different things like that. So that's something that I'm definitely unlearning.
Hmm.
Because for a while, I didn't feel safe to really share what I was going through. Because like you mentioned, the enemy will try to trick you into thinking like nobody's going what you're going through. You the
Hmm.
first and you the only. And it's like that's a whole lie. That
Yeah.
is an entire lie.
We believe it.
And you
Somehow we
yeah.
believe it. And it's like, wow, okay, yeah. But yeah, it's a lie.
Yeah. And so that's why this space to me is so valuable because there may be other women who may listen, young girls who may listen, and I want them to be able to know that no, you're not going through it alone and you never have to.
Mm-mm,
You
never.
never have to.
And I think I wish I had that. I became a mom at 22, and
Yeah.
I remember going through postpartum, right? Going through um, stuff with my ex, his father, and I mean, barely not even want to get out of bed some days, right? And I
Yeah.
think, yeah, man, I wish I had what I feel like what we're privy to now with the podcast and the different things like that. That wasn't really around when I first had a child.
Right.
So, to piggyback on what you're saying, like women do need to hear that. Girls need to hear that, that you're not alone. And you know how much abuse happens and women think that they can't say anything or they don't have any resources,
Yeah.
outlets. So this is very, very special what you're doing. It is beyond powerful. I don't like beyond, and
Thank
people need to hear
you.
it. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you for being a part of this work. Cause girl,
Mhm. It's work.
it's
Look,
work.
you say
It's
that capital W, okay?
yes, it's work, okay? Cause
Work.
even like when I met you, and I shared this with you briefly, when I met you, I was literally in the thick of anything you could possibly think
Mhm.
of.
Mhm.
And so for God to place, just little nuggets and little, people in my life that I didn't realize, I didn't think I would need in the future. You know what I mean? It just felt like it was for that moment. But I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
Mhm.
No, I like her. Like
Mhm.
I'm gonna keep in contact with her and just see what happens or see where it goes. So when I think back, like God was like placing certain people in my life that
Mhm.
are now part of my community that I needed, that I didn't know I needed then, but
Yep.
now it's like, oh yeah, remember when you had that conversation with so and so, you met so
Yep.
and so?
Yep.
Yeah, tap into that.
Yep. I
There's something
remember when I
there.
met you, when I met you, I felt so seen. I just want you to know that. I did. I really did. And I remember thinking
Oh
like, man, I
God.
wish she lived in Michigan. I was so mad. Like, darn it. She don't live here. But I just felt so seen by you. So I don't know if you know that. I never shared that with you, but I did. So I hope that
Oh,
everybody else who hears your show can hear that, can feel that, because you have an ability to do that, to make people feel seen. So thank you.
girl. Okay. We're not about to do this
I'm trying to make you cry.
because
Right. But I mean it. I mean it. I mean it. Because you said so many things to me that I was like, wow, okay. I didn't know that other people felt that way or just how you talk. So I appreciate it.
whew, thank you.
You're welcome.
See, God be working.
Don't he be
God,
working? Won't he do it? He will do it. Okay.
God be working all the time. It's
Mhm.
crazy.
So what can I ask you a question?
Girl, please,
What would
please.
you tell 25-year-old Tiffany today? What would you tell her?
I would tell her don't do it.
Mm, mm. I felt that one in my spirit.
I would tell 25-year-old Tiffany, I would tell her don't do it.
Yep.
Like, and it's so funny that you specifically said 25 because 25 was the age where I call it like my quarter life crisis. I had,
Mhm.
graduated from college at like 23, 24, and I didn't get a job that I thought I was gonna have. So I was like substitute teaching, and I had like ended this relationship but I didn't really let go. And so I like went back to it as like a crutch because I'm like, okay, I can't figure anything else out on this side. So let me jump back into what's familiar, what felt comfortable,
Mhm.
what felt safe.
Mhm.
And so I would literally tell 25-year-old Tiff, don't do it.
Mhm.
Don't do it. Trust your gut,
Mhm.
listen to your intuition, and follow through with the dream that I had at that time to move out the country. I was determined to move. Like I was on it. But again, it was so foreign to me and I didn't have that community then. I wasn't sharing with people what I had going on or reaching out for different resources, tools. Therapy was obsolete at that time, or I
Mhm.
would say non-existent for me. And so I went back to what was comfortable and what felt like this is what I should be doing right now because I really don't know what's over there, what's in that country or what's there. So let me just tiptoe my way back into this because I know this, I know what to expect.
Yeah.
Whew, yeah. So I would tell Tiff, don't do it.
Mhm. I
Don't
love
do
that you said that, going back, you would be I love that because I think we all do that, go back to what's comfortable, but I really like what you said about that, going back and because that is not the way to go. You
it.
always should listen to yourself, right? But we weren't taught that.
No.
Were we taught? I don't know. I don't know what in my household, I wasn't taught to listen to my body, right? Or listen to my heart, listen to that feeling in your stomach that you get, or if your fingers get tingly, like who we weren't taught that,
Yeah.
which I know like with you being a mom and we're moms and moms of boys, particularly I'm trying to teach my sons that, like because intuition was I didn't start like tapping into my intuition till I was like honestly probably like 30s. I'm
Right.
not even
No,
joking
for real.
because I know I was never taught. So I love that you say that because for any woman that's listening, if you aren't taught that, which most people are not, right? Most people are not taught about your inner feelings and how to maneuver that and how to listen to it. That's so important. And it's so
Hmm.
important for teenagers, it's so important for younger girls, because we all have all ignored
Yeah.
our vessel. So
Listen, straight ignore. Like, girl, you
uh-huh.
hear that thing
Right.
talking, and you
Okay.
just looking the other way, like, oh, I don't hear.
Back
What? Address that immediately.
immediately.
You will
That's
save
the
so
part.
much of yourself, your time,
Too much time.
all of that, all
Mhm.
of that. Now that you're like in this space where you're still on your healing journey and becoming the woman that God has chosen you to be, what's something along this journey that you're like no longer rushing?
I am no longer rushing. I think healing in general,
Mm-hmm.
but I am no longer rushing. I'm just present in this moment, being grounded in my spiritual practices with God. I'm just in this moment where it's like, God, you know my future, you know my past. All I can do is continue to be in prayer and continue to listen to what He's telling me to do. The future, God already got it. I think in the past, I'm always trying to figure things out. We can't figure it. We can't figure it. We can't. We cannot. And whatever you think might happen is the complete total opposite of what's going to actually happen. So I have just learned, and I am not perfect. This is new thing. When I'm saying all this, this is new that I just got into doing. So it's not easy. I would be lying to you if I told you I'm present every single day. No, I'm
Yeah.
not. No, I'm not. I think I'm just at a point where I'm practicing pulling myself back and saying,
Hmm.
okay, Felicia, what can you control in this moment? What can you do in this moment to get to wherever you need to go or wherever God is telling you to go? And listen and do it because everything else is noise. But it takes a lot of and like you're always healing, right? You're always evolving.
Hmm.
But it does take, I think, life experience. I think it takes I've had some health scares. I look at my children and I'm like, man, like what type of mom do I want them to see? What type of mom do I want them to feel? You know what I'm saying? And that's worth it to me. That's worth me saying, okay, all I got is what I got today. That's all I got. And so that keeps me grounded so far. It's been working.
I love that.
Look,
What I
when
got
it's not
today,
working,
that's all I got. That is all I got. And girl, I relate to that so much because I think for me, like that's where I'm at. Like I'm no longer rushing how I feel, like and just processing my emotions. Because again, for one, acknowledging my emotions, naming them, and then giving them space or giving myself space to sit in it,
yeah,
take in, do a an analysis, like, okay, how
Yeah.
we feeling, what we thinking, what's
Yep.
I'm not rushing it no more.
No.
It used to be so uncomfortable to just feel.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would try to hurry up and just, okay, yeah, I'm mad, but let me just push that back to the back. I got shit to do. Excuse my
Mm-hmm.
language. But that's how, that's
Yeah.
how I went through majority of my life. But now it's like, I'm not rushing it. I'm pausing. I'm taking time. If I don't
Mhm.
feel like doing X, Y, and Z, we not doing it. And it's okay. And that's the thing, like it's okay. But it
Yep.
took me a while to be okay with it being okay with
Right.
getting certain
But you
things
know,
done and pausing.
that comes from loving yourself. I didn't love myself. I
Oh,
didn't love myself. I'm gonna be
mhm.
honest. I didn't love myself enough to even have that mindset. I think now I'm starting to love myself in that capacity to where I can say, no, I matter. I matter because if I don't do it, then I got two kids that are dependent on me. I have to People used to say all the time, if you don't get rest, you have to, what did they say? If you don't get rest, it affects your children or your children need you to do that. And I used to be like, oh, yeah, whatever. That is so true. That is so freaking true. Okay. So now it's like, I don't care what anybody got to say. But again, I didn't always feel that way. Me recognizing like how loved I am by God, how he sees me, and repeatedly telling my brain that you have to do the opposite of what you experienced, right? So I had to
Yeah.
continuously tell myself a different story. And then I started to feel different. And then it was like boundaries went up. And then it was like, oh, I do matter. Oh, okay, if I get some rest and then I take my vitamins and I drink my water and I go to therapy, I show up as a better person. Oh, okay, got it. Like it comes from loving yourself. And so kudos to us.
You mentioned how you have to like tell yourself a different story.
Mhm.
That's powerful because psychologically, like our brain is wired to prevent us from like feeling scared or like being in certain situations. So naturally it guards us.
Yep.
And so when you start to do things that you're not used to doing,
Mhm.
that's how some people go backwards. But to be able to stop and be like, wait a minute, no.
Mhm.
Like conquering your mind to like
Mhm.
change your entire life is
It's
crazy
it's
powerful. Like
so
that
powerful.
takes
Mhm. Mhm. It takes extreme mental, strength. It
hmm
really does. It really does. It's very easy because that's what we were designed to do. I don't think our nervous system is trying to protect us at all times, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's extremely hard to do to rewire your brain to think something different when you've been thinking this way for 25, 30 years,
Yeah.
right? It's not going to be overnight. And I think I had to give myself grace with that too, because I used to be like, okay, when am I going to be healed?
Ooh,
Like, when am I going to not feel this pain? And it's like, girl, you ain't going to never be done. You never going to be done. And
yes.
that has even taken some off my chest because it's like I'm never gonna be done healing. So why rush it? I'm gonna be
Yeah.
healing until the day I die. So why rush it?
It's
Healing
the
is a lot, you know.
yeah.
Healing is a lot, and I feel like I don't know. It's not linear. I tell you that because there are days I'm like,
F all this.
okay,
I don't want to be healed
I
no
don't
more.
want to
I'm stopping
listen,
right here.
listen,
I don't
but
want to change
then,
nothing else. I don't want to
listen,
evolve no more. I'm
I
staying right
I
here.
don't want to do nothing. But you know what I realized too? I realized while I'm in my healing journey, everybody is not going to heal. Everybody is not going to do the work. Everybody is not going to look at themselves. Do you know how hard it is to look at yourself and be like, yeah, you need to fix that. You need to fix that. This happened to you. This happened to you. You need to deal with that. You need to do that is a lot of work. Okay. And when you realize that some people just aren't going to do that, I feel like that makes it makes the healing journey a little bit more understanding because
hmm
when you go out into the world or you deal with people, You have that in the back of your mind. Like this person just is not is it's they're not in that space. So I think that has helped me think about things differently too, and how I handle situations and how I approach situations. It's like some people may never change. Some people may never want to look at themselves and evolve. And that's okay. That's okay. Long as you got your boundaries. You
Yeah.
got your boundaries in place. So I wanted to say that too.
And that's scary to even think about that. But I
Hmm.
love that you mentioned having boundaries because that's something that I didn't realize I didn't have until about 3 years ago.
Yeah, I realized about 4 years ago.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh wait, this just changed the whole game. And once I put those boundaries in place,
Hmm.
people started
Hmm.
falling away, like falling off.
But how did you feel? Like when you would put boundaries in place that you didn't normally used to do, but you do now, how did you feel?
I felt lonely. I'm not
Hmm.
gonna lie, I felt alone because I didn't realize that I was giving so much of myself to others. And then
Hmm.
so when I put those boundaries in place, I felt like I didn't have anybody. I'm like, well, man, I didn't know that me speaking up or saying no to certain things was gonna like actually cut people off. But
Yeah.
then it also reminded me that God was in control of all of this. Like, okay, if those people are falling off, I trust that God is going to put
Yep.
those people in my life who, for one, will respect me and respect my boundaries,
Hmm.
and they won't have me feeling weird, and I won't feel alone. I won't feel alone anymore.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
felt the same way too. When I first put boundaries in place, which was like 4 years ago,
Yeah.
I felt so bad inside. I'm not gonna lie, I even like asked my therapist, like, why do I feel so bad that I'm speaking up for myself? I should be doing that, but
Mm,
I feel so bad. So is this wrong? Like, maybe I shouldn't have said it that way. Maybe I should. And my therapist told me one day, you said it exactly how you needed to say it. And
yeah.
whatever happens, however that person takes your boundaries, it's like not your responsibility.
That-
Like it's never been your responsibility. And I was like, shut the front door. I was like, really now?
Yeah.
It's a whole new life.
That and even just hearing you say that, I remember the very moment because I read I can't think of the actual title of the book, but it's like the boundaries book and it comes like with the workbook or whatever.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
remember sitting in my room and like literally reading that. Like once you set your boundaries, however that person takes it, however they feel, that ain't got nothing to do with you. I used
nothing.
to think like I was in control of how they felt about what I said. And
Nope.
turns out that's not true.
It's not.
That's
And
not true.
it's also vice versa. It's also not anybody else's responsibility to soothe you
Yeah.
when they
Yeah.
put their boundaries in place. And it's vice versa. But yeah, that was girl, that was like
I
when that happened,
know.
I was like, wow, I've been doing that for a long time.
A
So
long time.
what is it? I'm 4 years free. I'm 4 years.
Well, come on, 4 years free. Look, we're gonna celebrate all of that. 4 years free, four
Yeah.
years of putting boundaries in place and sticking to them, to a
Hmm.
year of celibacy,
Amen.
and and everything else that we celebrating. I'm grateful that you're here and that you shared this space with me and shared your experiences and your wisdom.
Well, thank you.
I appreciate you for pulling up to the table. Celebrating your wins is a must because growth deserves to be served and savored. Healing doesn't need a deadline or a perfect recipe. You just have to start again and again if you have to. Until next time, keep your heart full, lift yourself gently, and savor every win along the way.